Hey, I'm Joe Baker with Joe Baker Photography. I've been shooting now for about 13 years. And trust me, I've screwed up more times than I can count. But the cool thing, you don't have to repeat my mistakes. So we're going to go through the top 5 newbie mess ups, screw ups, bad judgments that can totally derail you. And I'll show you how to make sure you don't do them as well. And let me tell you, most of them do not have anything to do with your camera skills. Hey guys, did you know almost half the people who buy their first camera quit before they even get paid for a single shoot? It's not because their photos are trashy or they suck or anything. It's usually because they make the same 5 mistakes over and over. I made them too. So let's make sure you don't. It's problem number one. When I first put myself out there, I literally got a DM asking if I'd shoot all day for 50 bucks and a burrito bowl. And honestly, I almost said yes. Most beginners do. Here's the problem: starting cheap doesn't fill your portfolio, it sticks you in the bargain bin. People see your $75 sessions and think, oh, they're brand new. Maybe I'll just wait for the next newbie. And after a while, you start to believe your time isn't worth much either. That's a straight shot to burnout. And you will hate yourself and you will not want to do photography anymore. But here's what worked for me: look up 3 local photographers that you actually admire, that you like their work, and average their 1 hour rate, then tack on about 20%, and then post that number proudly. Those coupon hunters and bargain basement guys will disappear, but the clients who respect you will show up. And sure, yeah, we always want to start cheap. We always want to start with our low number because we feel like we aren't worth that number. But it's important for you to not be that bargain basement guy. And I will let you know, the cheaper that your client is, the more problems that you're going to have with them, because they tend to actually work you more and they don't appreciate your work. And you will just think that every customer is like that or every client is like that. And so it's important for you to realize that just because you're new doesn't mean that your time is free or cheap. You're learning, you're moving forward. You can offer deep discounts if you want to, but remember that your time is important. Don't try to cheapen yourself because you're just starting out. Okay, that's mistake number one. The second one hides behind the words, hey, I just upgraded my camera body. Check out these specs. So you're always trying to get that new gear. You're always trying to buy the best of the best and or max out that card. But the problem is, a lot of beginners think the only thing standing between them and amazing photos is a shiny new lens. So they swipe that credit card, they drop a grand or more on glass, but they still shoot on auto. Now, here's the harsh truth: a $1,400 lens on auto looks exactly like a kit lens on auto, except now you've got credit card debt. Just don't go out there and buy a new lens because you can. Instead, do this: put the card away for a month and grab a used 50 millimeter f1.8. Every brand makes one. They're usually under $200. And honestly, I started my whole business with that lens. Don't blow money on gear until you actually know what you're doing with the gear that you have. All right, gear's handled. Mistake number 3 usually pops up the first time someone says, hey, can you shoot my wedding? Shoot your wedding. You've had your camera probably like 2 to 3 weeks, and now they're asking you to shoot your wedding. And it could be a cousin or someone in your family, and they wave $600 in your face to shoot their wedding. And you think, sweet, easy money. But then you show up, the lighting is a nightmare, and you spend 12 hours on this wedding praying your photos don't look as bad as you think that they do. So if you're going to do that, you're just putting yourself out there for danger. One bad wedding can haunt you forever. Even if you refund that money, That one-star review lives on the internet till the end of time and will bug you throughout the rest of your days. So, what I suggest is a checklist. Can you nail a backlit shot on the first try? Like you have the light coming from behind them, you got your couple. Can you nail that shot on the first try? If it's a darker venue, have you practiced off camera flash, especially in dark spaces? Is it going to be dark interior, or are you going to be shooting at night? Do you have a contract? Do you have backup gear in case something goes wrong with your first one? And do you have a second shooter that you can call that you can rely on that can help you and get those shots? If you're missing any of those, there's no way that I would suggest that you take that gig yet. Instead, here's a better idea. Second shoot for an experienced pro. You still get paid, you'll learn a ton, and you won't risk torching your reputation. Because when you're first starting out, your reputation is really important. So watch out for trying to jump into something that you obviously are not ready for. And sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, am I ready to take on a wedding right now? And just be honest with yourself. Cool. Now let's talk mistake number 4. This is why your Instagram grid looks like it belongs to 12 different photographers. More than likely, it's because once beginners find a setting that works or a preset, they stop pushing themselves. It's the same preset, the same 3 poses for every single couple. The problem is trends change constantly. Clients binge moody tones, then pastel, then super contrasty vibes, sometimes that blur stuff. If you don't evolve, you end up being that photographer people say, oh, yeah, they used to be popular. So here's a fix. Block out 2 hours every week just to learn. Watch tutorials, practice new lighting setups, study posing, break down photos that you love, and in just a couple of months, you'll be leveling up. I'd also add to that if there is a photo conference that you want to attend, or if a photographer is teaching a class, then you definitely need to sign up. Just like any other skill out there, you have to keep learning. And education, especially education from photographers that you trust and look up to, those are invaluable. And they will help your journey more than anything else. Attend photo conferences. So attend one a year until you can afford to go to a couple a year. There are photo conferences for every type of photography out there, from high school seniors to headshots to just about anything. So be on the lookout for those types of conferences and make sure that you sign up for them and attend them, because you will come back so overloaded with information that it will take you some time to process all of that. And then what I suggest is taking little bits and pieces of what you learn and then adding it to your business or your photography. You don't have to really add it all at once because that can be really overwhelming, but I highly suggest taking bits and pieces from a conference or a workshop or anything like that and just add it to what you currently do. And the last mistake, and honestly, this mistake feels polite, but it's a super fast track to burnout. And that mistake is never saying no. So the problem is you say yes to everything: a 5 a.m. sunrise shoot, a noon branding gig, a sunset elopement, all in the same day. You're scared to tell people no because you're like, oh, I want to be the best. I want to make sure that I help them, they're a friend. And then 6 weeks in, you're editing at 3 a.m. Your family barely sees you, and your replies sound like you typed them in a gas station parking lot. Your quality drops, your referrals have gone dry, and then the fun is gone, and you don't want to do this anymore. So here's the move, and I teach about this a lot. Write a simple template that says, thanks so much for thinking of me. I'm booked, but I'd love to refer you to an insert friend photographer. Copy, paste, done. You protect your calendar, your sanity, and honestly, your art gets better. I will tell you, learning how to say no is probably one of the hardest skills that you will learn as a photographer or as a business owner. The more you say yes, the more you say no to yourself. It is important that you just say, hey, you know what? I cannot add another shoot to my schedule. Take time for yourself, pick a schedule, stick to it, and just learn how to say no. And it's okay. You're not going to flip out. They will figure it out on their own. That's what they do. They will be looking. There's plenty of photographers out there. We all know that. And so just let them hunt for their own photographer and you can make sure that you have your sanity. Just remember that saying no means that you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your family. You're saying yes to a schedule that is comfortable for you. I feel like this is the biggest mistake that a lot of photographers do is not learning how to say no. So definitely worth learning how to do this. So I know I said 5 mistakes that photographers make, but I'm going to go ahead and give you one more bonus tip. You need to remember that your photography has its ebbs and flows. So a lot of photographers will see a big dip in their winter bookings. So I would suggest saving at least 10% from every shoot into a slow season fund. That way, when January rolls around, you're calm instead of panicked. Now, if any of these mistakes sound way too familiar, hit that like button. It helps me out and it helps this video reach more photographers who need it. All right, we're going to recap. 1. Charge what you're worth. 2. Learn to use the gear you've got. 3. Don't take money before you're ready. 4. Keep learning. And 5. Don't be afraid to say no. Do these 5 and you'll avoid the traps that knocks out almost half of all new photographers. Now remember, if you want weekly tips to go out from beginner to booked out, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell. I drop new videos every Sunday, and I'll see you in the next one. And please let me know if you have any questions or comments and put them down in the comments. Thanks.